Hello class. Let us turn to another elegy. This time it's a poem by John Donne. The title is Elegy 3 Change. John Donne was born in 1572 and he died in the year 1631. He belongs to an important school of poetry, and in the history of English literature, it is known as the metaphysical school of poetry. The metaphysical poets, they were learned people, highly educated people, and their learning, their knowledge is reflected in their poetry. They used to bring far-fetched imagery in their poems, and it has a particular name to that term to that, and it is known as the metaphysical conceit. Metaphysical conceit is a kind of extended metaphor where two apparently dissimilar things, entities, notions are brought together or they are compared. John Donne was the leader of this school. He was the major poet of this movement. His famous poems are The Canonization, The Flea, The Sun Rising. He wrote many sonnets as well as elegies. And he belongs to the period in the history of English literature after the Elizabethan literature. It is the early 17th century when King James I was the monarch of England. That period is known as the Jacobean age, 1603 to 1625. This period is known as the Jacobean age since King James I was the monarch, the ruler of England. Now let us turn to this particular elegy, that is a poem by John Donne. This poem consists of 36 lines and it is in a single stanza. It is about the nature of women and how they can be loved, they can be used by men, and it is also about the freedom of choice for women. The poem is addressed to a woman. Although thy hand, I read the poem line by line. Although thy hand and faith and good works too, thy is your. Although means even if, in spite of the fact that, even if thy hand means your hand and faith and trust and good works too have sealed. Here sealed means confirmed. Have sealed thy love, your love, which nothing should undo. Undo means to cancel the effect of something. Yeah, though thou fall back, Fallback is ready for use in emergency. Though thou fall back, that apostasy. Apostasy is an act of giving up a religion or philosophy officially. Here it means even if a woman stops her love, confirm thy love, yet much, much I fear thee. So even though you confirm your love, I am afraid of you. The speaker says, I am afraid of you. That is a woman. Now, why he says so? The next line, women are like the arts, forced unto none. This is, women are like the arts, who are forced unto none. Unto means to something. So they are not confined to anybody. Open to all searchers. Here women are considered as art, as something. Open to all searchers. Open to all searchers means anybody can search for them and anybody can choose them. Unprized. Unprized without any force. If unknown. If I have caught a bird and let him fly. Now here bird is the metaphor for a woman. So he says if I catch a bird and then I make it free. Another fowler is the bird catcher, the person who catches the birds. Another fowler using these means as I may catch the same bird. So he says, so here bird is the metaphor for woman and fowler is the metaphor for a man. So he says, if I set a woman free, another man can claim her. As I may catch the same bird and these things be, women are made for men, not him nor me. So this line is very critical or objectionable. He says women are made for men. Now this is again the universal assumption by patriarchy. Women are for men, not him nor me, not for any particular man, but for all men. Foxes and goats, all beasts, animals. Foxes and goats, all the animals change when they please. So he says, even animals can change as per their choice, as per their likes and dislikes. Shall women more hot-tempered, having high-tempered, passionate or excited, hot means, and wily. Wily is clever at getting what one wants or cunning, shrewd. This is, women are more passionate or wild than the animals. Be bound to one man, so they cannot be forced to live with one man. And did nature then idly make them apter to endure than men? So he says, nature has made women more suitable, appropriate to tolerate than men. So women are better than men. That is, as far as their suitability is concerned. Ideally make them apter to endure than men. They are our clogs. Now another metaphor is used for women. Clog is the shoe which is made up of wood or having a wooden sole. They are our clogs, not their own. If a man be, so here a woman is considered as an anchor, as the thing that fixes something else. If a man be chained to a galley, galley is the ship, it is the long ship, flat ship with sails. If a man be chained to a galley, yet the galley is free. So here galley is, the ship is the metaphor for woman, and a man is attached to that, but that galley, that ship is free. So here Donne wants to say that the woman is free, even though the man is bound to her. My man is chained or attached or joined to her. Who has, hath is has, who has a plough land? Who is for a man, and plough land, that is the land to be cultivated. Plough, नांगरणी करण्यासाठी योग्य जमीन, plough land. Who hath a plough land? So here land is the metaphor for a woman. Casts all his seed corn there. Corn, any kind of grain. So a man casts his grain on the soil, that is the woman, and yet allows his ground more corn should bear. So here a woman can deliver more crops from, or that is, she can reproduce children by another man. Though Dombey is the name of a river, into the sea must flow. Now here sea is the metaphor for the man, and rivers, there are various names of the rivers like Dombey, like Rhine, like Volga and Po. So the rivers are the metaphors for women. The sea receives the Rhine, Volga and Po. So here man is the sea, and all the women are considered as the rivers, and they go to the sea at the end of their journey. By nature which gave it this liberty. So this liberty is given to the rivers, that means the women. So here John Donne seems to be on the side of women's freedom. Thou lovest, but oh, canst thou love it and me? Likeness glues love. Glue, to stick or join a thing with the help of the glue. Likeness glues love. And if that thou so do, to make us like and love, must I change too? So this is about the love between a man and a woman. More than thy hate, more than the woman's hatred, I hate it. Rather let me allow her change. So he says, I want to give freedom to women. Allow her change. Then changes as oft as she. Oft is often. So she must be free to change her partner, her lover, and so not teach but force my opinion to love not anyone nor everyone. To live in one land is captivity. So he says to live in one land. So he says to love not anyone nor everyone. To live in one land, again land is the metaphor for woman, is captivity. To love only one woman is not freedom. To run all countries, a wild roguery. So he said it's a kind of roguery, dishonesty, to run all the countries, to visit all the countries. Waters stink soon, if one place they bite. He says the water stinks, that is bad smell comes out of the water if it remains in the same place. And in the vast sea are more petrified, that is in a decomposed state. But when they kiss one bank, here river bank, the edge of the river, and leaving this never look back but the next bank to kiss. So here It is the freedom of women. They then are they purest. Change is the nursery of music, joy, life, and eternity. Eternity, something that lives forever, something that has no end, something that has no death. So this elegy is about the change. So there must be change in the man-woman relationship. There must be change in love. This is what the poet wants to say in this poem. Thank you.